Hello students, welcome back. This is Mrs. Mercado speaking. This is a short lecture on Accounting 2401, Principles of Financial Accounting for week number 11. Okay, now during this week we are going to be finalizing group project number 2, which deals with International Financial Reporting Standards versus US GAAP. Okay, now I made both the group list and the assignment instructions available since week number 10. That way students could begin coordinating with each other, identifying what areas they were going to work on, establishing how they were going to be communicating with the group. All of the logistics should have been taken care of during week number 10. Week number 11 should be focused on completing the assignment. Okay, I don't want it to be Wednesday or Thursday and you still haven't gotten a hold of half of your group. That should have already been done. If you haven't gotten hold of a specific group member or group members, you know what, and you need to move on with the project, let them know. If you don't respond by Monday at 5 p.m., we're going to exclude you from the group because we need to move together. Okay, we need to move forward with the project, and you're not answering. We've been trying to contact you 5, 6, 7 times and you're not answering any of our messages, so we're going to exclude you. You get a hold of the teacher and you let her know that we have decided to exclude you because you have not responded. Okay, and you send those students my way. Okay, and I'll handle them over here. I'll see what I need to do. But it is important that by now, all of the group members should have communicated with each other. If you haven't, Monday is a good day. You know, it's the beginning of the week. Get a hold of your group members. The list is made available, and I'll show you that in a bit. But that is what's going to go down on week 11. You're going to finalize the group project. The group project is due on Sunday, November the 8th at 11 p.m. Okay? So let me jump into Blackboard, and this is Principles of Financial Accounting, and we are in week 11. Let me go in there. Okay, so during week 11, we're going to finalize and submit group project number 2. If I click on the week 11, okay, I'm asking how you're doing. I hope all of you are doing well. We are reaching the end of the semester, guys, so please, it is very important that we keep up with all of our assignments. This assignment is worth 100 points, which is 10% of your overall grade. Okay, some students just decide not to do certain assignments for whatever reason, especially when it's a group project. But hey, you know, you're at your home, you get to record the lecture with nobody seeing you. This is a lot easier than having to do a presentation in front of a class. So there's really no excuse. I understand some students are shy or whatever the case might be, but in real life, we are going to have to present, whether it be to your boss, to a group of people, to clients. You know, we need to work on these type of skills, okay? So this is a great example, and not only, you know, presenting, but working with others. Okay, you will have to work with other people when you go out there in the workforce. So it is very important that we practice all of these skills while we're at school. Okay, so this particular project is going to cover our course learning objective number 7, which is to describe basically the differences between IFRS and GAAP. Okay, now the member list was provided last week. These are, I'm going to have 4 groups, and these are the group member lists. Make sure that you contact your group members. These are the members that were still registered for my course for when I created the assignment. If you identify that some of your group members are not answering, get with me and let me know, Miss, is this student still registered because they're not answering? And I'll let you know, yes, they're registered, or no, they're not registered. As of right now, I did have a couple of students that dropped. That is why I had to go and make revisions to the group list. But I haven't had any more. So hopefully, you know, this is the final list. But like I said, if you are having issues contacting a specific student, just shoot me a message, a Blackboard message, and say, Miss, can you confirm if Mickey Mouse is still in the class? Okay, and I'll go back and I'll look at my thing and I'll let you know my schedule of my students, my attendance, my roster, and I'll see if Mickey Mouse is there, and I'll say, you know what, he is still registered, or you know what, no, he's no longer in the course. Okay, and then you can either move on or continue to attempt to contact them or send them a message that because they have not responded, they will not be in your group. That is up to the group, whatever they decide to do. So the requirements, okay, these are the requirements that I also made available last week. Okay, everything is clearly outlined. Okay, everything is very similar to your group project number 1 requirements. I gave the group feedback for group project 1. Make sure you take all of that feedback into account for when you're working into group project 2. Okay, the PowerPoint presentation needs to be between 15 to 18 slides. You do not have to put empty slides in between. I had students put like introducing the next topic, but there was really no content in that slide. I don't need those slides in there because those slides that are just title slides in between the slides do not count. They need to have actual content. So avoid putting fluff slides in there with pictures or no specific information because those don't count. They have to be 15 to 18 slides of actual content. And then on top of that, you do need your cover page. On the cover page, I do need the names listed of all students that participated. If the name of the student is on the cover slide of the presentation, that means that you as a group decided to include them because they participated in the assignment. Okay, if a student did not participate in the assignment, then you don't put their names on there. Okay, because I grade based on that list of names that you included on your cover slide. Okay, so only include the names of the students that participated. A reference page needs to be included, one reference page per group. You need to alphabetize it. Okay, put all of your references together. So if there's 4, 5, 6 people in your group, you have to put all of those references together, alphabetize them, and if you all use a similar source, I don't want any duplicates. Make sure that you just have one list of the references, and then the references should only be listed one time in there. I had students that put the same reference 4 or 5 times. Why? Because we had 4 students use the same reference. I don't want to see that. Make sure that you clean out your reference page. Okay. Now the next component is super important. Every slide needs to have notes ranging from 150 to 250 words. This is what you should be explaining in your presentation. So your presentation should just be key points and ideas, pictures, diagrams, key words, key ideas, and then in your notes, you put your actual notes of what you're going to be presenting. Okay? This is a very important component. Okay? So make sure that when you review each other's work, you review that every student has the notes included and that the notes are between 150 to 250 words. I do count the numbers of words that you have per slide for your notes, okay? So make sure that you check each other's work and make sure that you all are meeting this criteria, okay? Do not overload your slide with information and then just copy and paste the information from the slide to the notes. That is not acceptable. Okay, the slide should have some content, and then the notes should be supplementing that information. Okay, please cite your sources within the notes as well as within the slide. So if it's information you obtain from a source, whether it be a book, a journal, whatever the case might be, you need to cite your sources. On your notes, the sources need to be cited after every sentence. So if the first sentence you obtained it from a journal from Garcia 2020, you put Garcia 2020. If the next sentence you got it from Smith 2015, after that second sentence you have to put at the end Smith 2015. Okay, so you need to cite accordingly. Don't just put all of the information and then put a list of your references in the bottom of the slide. No, you have to cite after each sentence or after whatever information that you obtain from that specific source. Okay. All of the group members need to participate in the recording of the presentation. Now, I had issues in the first assignment, the group project, with audio. Some students were using Google Slides, okay? And then when they tried downloading the Google Slides, the audio was not downloading. By now, we should have learned from our mistakes from the group project number 1. I need a PowerPoint file with audio uploaded, okay? So make sure that is very clear. I need a PowerPoint uploaded into Blackboard that includes audio for every slide. Now, I don't mind students using Google Slides because I know that all of you can go in there at the same time and update all of your information. That is wonderful, okay? But when you're to the point of recording audio, what I recommend is that you download the Google Slides into a PowerPoint format and then record your audio. Or you can do it whatever way you want. Just make sure that when you upload that file for grading, it has audio included. Every slide has audio. I do not want an audio file submitted separately where I have to figure out what audio goes with what slide. I will not accept that. Okay? And I will not be accepting extensions on the group project number 2 because you had issues with your audio. You should know by now how I expect the audio. I expect one PowerPoint presentation, and every slide needs to have notes. Every slide needs to have audio. Okay? So you need to figure all that out, all of those logistics out before you submit my final project. Okay? The title slide needs to be included, which includes the names of all the group members that participated only. Okay, the reference page, you need to include in-text citations within the slides and the notes section. I will not be tolerating plagiarism, and I'll go over that a little bit more in a little bit. Please cite your sources. I highly encourage that students use statistics, graphs, charts, images within your presentation to make it interactive, to make it dynamic, to make it interesting for the audience. Now, when you are presenting a group project of this source, you need to target an audience that has no knowledge about International Financial Reporting Standards or GAAP. So you have to assume that I'm going to be the one grading your assignment, I know nothing about this. So if I know nothing about this topic, how are you going to explain it to be in a basic format? How are you going to build my knowledge? Okay, you can't assume I know things. You have to explain things to me because I don't know anything about IFRS or GAAP. Okay, so that is the method of how you should structure your presentation. You should structure your presentation to an audience that has no knowledge of the topic. Okay, that way you can be able to expand and provide all needed information. Okay, now these are the requirements or the components that need to be included. We have letters A through E. Okay, you have to provide a history or a background of International Financial Reporting Standards and GAAP. This can include, but is not limited to, why and when IFRS and GAAP were created, a timeline of its development, the decision-making process. How do decisions happen to incorporate either a policy, a regulation, or whatever it is into the actual decision-making process, etc. Okay, you find unique information that you think is important for me to know. Okay, anything that you think that a person should know, you include it in your presentation. Provide me a definition or an overview of explaining IFRS and GAAP. What is its purpose? Okay, this can include the purpose, the mission, who uses this information, the structure, who makes the decisions, how is it developed, things of those nature. Okay, now this one's very important. You have to identify and explain 8 significant differences between IFRS and GAAP. Okay, explain is a key word here. Don't just list them. Explain them to me. Remember, I don't know nothing about IFRS or GAAP, so you have to be very detailed and explain things to me. Okay? Now, the next sentence is very important. Do not include as a difference that one is rules-based and the other is principle-based. Okay? I don't want that included. I want actual accounting differences between IFRS and GAAP. Maybe one does financial statements differently than the other. Maybe one reports things differently than the other. Maybe the inventory way of allocating, inventory is different. I want to know differences in accounting. Okay, so I don't want you to include that one's rule based and the other is principle based. That can be included in maybe your letter A or your letter B. Okay, if you want to include it. Okay, the same thing goes with GAAP is employed in the USA versus IFRS is international. If you want to include this information, include it up here on your letter A or letter B, whatever you decide. Okay, but those two, I don't want you included them as part of the 8 differences. Okay, the 8 differences should be accounting differences. Okay, then you're going to provide 3 reasons to identify why IFRS has not been implemented in the US. Now here, I don't want your opinion. I want you to tell me exactly why we, the United States, has not implemented IFRS. Okay? Please obtain detailed facts. If you say, okay, it is very costly to transition from GAAP to IFRS, quantify that. How much is costly? 1 million, 2 million, 3 billion, 5 billion? Give me a number. Give me statistics. Okay, why are we not transitioning? What are the researchers, why is the SEC saying about we are not going to transition? For what reason? Okay. Now the last one is your opinion. Does your group, and this is a group answer, not me individually, why does your group believe IFRS will be implemented in the United States in the near future? I'm sorry. Does your group believe IFRS will be implemented in the US in the near future? Why or why not? Okay. And then you have to support your reasoning with published data. So do you think that we are eventually going to transition? Why or why not? And if we are, like how far away are we from transitioning? Okay. So these are all of the requirements that need to be clearly explained in your presentation. Please organize your presentation in this specific order. Okay. The group project is going to be worth 100 points. 90 points is coming from your presentation. 10 points is coming from your self and peer evaluation. Okay. Now you all need to assign a group leader that is going to be responsible to submit the final assignment. Okay. One submission per group. Okay. The instructor will provide has provided, I've already made that available to you, the group list, so you know exactly who's on your group. The self and peer evaluation is very important. Please be honest in your responses on your self and peer evaluation. I do use that as a very important tool for when I grade the assignment. The self and peer evaluation is mandatory that every student completes it. If a student fails to complete and submit the self and peer evaluation, they're going to get a 0 for the entire assignment. Okay? Not just for the 10 points of the self and peer evaluation, you're going to get a 0 for the 90 points of the project and 10 points of the self and peer evaluation. You're going to get a 0 for the entire project. I need all of the self and peer evaluations. Okay? So students have had week 10 and week 11 to organize themselves to begin working on the project. The project is due on Sunday, November the 8th at 11 p.m. Okay, each team, like I said, needs to designate a team leader that will be responsible for submitting the final presentation. When you submit the final presentation, please put group member number 1, final presentation. Group number 2, final presentation. Group number 3, final presentation. Okay. I need to know that it's what group does this belong to? This belongs to group 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. And that's your final presentation. I know some students sometimes upload the files in error, and then I have like 20 files that I need to look over. I'm going to be looking at the ones that say final presentation. Okay. I will not be accepting late assignments. It is not fair to the other group members that submitted their work on time for you to get extra time. Everybody is going to have the same amount of time to complete the assignment. I will not accept late work. I will not accept late submissions, and I will not provide extensions. Okay. So this is the group instructions. If you need any clarification on this, please let me know. Okay. Contact me early in the week. Remember, I have office hours Monday through Friday. Okay. Now I have a lot of students try to communicate with me on the weekend. I might respond to you, but I might not. It just depends what I'm doing that weekend. Okay, I might not be at home. I might be out of town. So it can become difficult for me to be answering messages on the weekend. So if you for sure want an answer, contact me Monday through Friday. I am available, throughout the day. I look at my emails. I look at my Blackboard messages. I tend to respond very fast during the week. But please look over the instructions. That way, if you have any questions, you can contact me. Okay. Now for the group project, it says here, please review Save as Sound report as it should be less than 20% match. Now, I've had issues when students upload the PowerPoint presentation in PowerPoint for the system to read the content because the file is just too large because it has pictures, it has all of this information. So it might be difficult for the system to read or provide you with a Save as Sound report. Okay, what I would do if I were a student is I would copy, okay, all of the notes. Okay, I would put slide 1 and then the notes below it, slide 2, the notes below it, in a Word document. Okay, because what really should have content is your notes section. So put all of your notes in a Word document. Have one person work on that. Once the presentation is complete, assign this task to a group member and have them just get the final presentation and then get a Word document and copy all of the notes into that Word document, okay? And then upload that Word document into the Safe Assign report. Okay, that way the Safe Assign can generate and it can tell you, okay, based on all of the information that you uploaded, this is what is showing as plagiarized. And then you need to go back and fix it. Okay, you need to reword it. You need to do whatever you need to do so it doesn't show as plagiarized. Okay, I do that on my own as well. And if the report shows higher than a 20% match, meaning you just copied and pasted your information from Wikipedia or from all of these sources, you're going to fail the assignment, okay? So if you try uploading the PowerPoint presentation and the Safe Assign report does not generate, try using the other method, which is copying the notes from each slide into a Word document and then uploading the Word document just to check your Safe Assign report to make sure that you have less than 20% match on your plagiarism report, okay? Sometimes if you upload the presentation, it can take maybe 10 minutes for the report to generate because of the length of all of the information included. It is just a lot faster to upload a Word document. Okay, so that's why I'm letting you know. But a Safe Assign report is generated when you upload. You can either try uploading the presentation or uploading a Word document with all of your notes included. But regardless, make sure that you are not copying and pasting information from the sources into your presentation. This should be reworded, and even though it's reworded, you have to cite your source. Okay. Make sure that you have cited all of your sources and you have paraphrased the information. Okay. Please review and ensure all assignment requirements have been met and that the audio is clear. Okay. You should be running a clear. You should be uploading a clear presentation that has all of the requirements. As a group, I would recommend that you get together. You maybe establish a Zoom session or something of that nature to where you get together on a specific day, and as a group, you review each other's work and then give each other feedback. That way you can make sure that the project is the highest quality that you can submit. Okay. And then below here is where you're going to be submitting your self and peer evaluation. I've included the file here. You download it, and then let me see if I have it right here. This is what the self and peer evaluation looks like. Make sure that you put each group member's name on top and include your name, and then you assign a point, either 0 being for that student never participated, 1, they rarely participated, 2, sometimes or occasionally, or 3, all of the time. My goal is that every student has 3s because you all should be participating equally in this assignment, okay? But this is where you would be grading or assigning a grade to each of your group members, and then you give me a total points by student, okay? You're going to add down. So maybe this one has a 3, this one has a 2, this one has a 1. You give me a total at the end. Every student is required to complete the self and peer evaluation, okay? So there's 2 things that you have to submit: your group project and your self and peer evaluation. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever the case might be, please contact me. This is a group project. You have each other. Look at the member list, okay? If you have questions about maybe locating information on a specific assignment, hey, reach out to your group members. You know what, group members, I'm trying to find information on this. I can't. Can you all help me out? This is a group project, not an individual assignment. Help each other out. Collaborate with each other. This is a group grade, so it is in the best intent of the group to help each other out. That way you can get a good grade. Okay, so that is what's going to be going down on week 11. Okay, I look forward to getting all of your final projects, going over them and grading them. So I will be doing that on week 12 once I get all of the submissions in. But that is what we're going to be working on. Okay, I hope all of you are doing great or staying safe. And until next week, okay, take care. Bye-bye.